you guys doing out there in the land of the internet? What's life treating you guys? My goodness, I woke up this morning and it was odd. Not that it was odd, being that it was odd, but it was the morning time odd. I know you're probably wondering, what does he mean by this? Well, let's get started. Good morning, and how is it treating you out there in the land of the internet? Wow, what a trip. You know, sometimes when we get started, we start doing things and we just get caught up in the moment. Or at least I get caught up in the moment. I know you're wondering, what moment are you speaking of? The moment that I'm speaking of is pretty simple. Man, I went to bed last night. I woke up this morning and kind of did a bunch of things out in the garden, walked around, did a whole bunch of things, and then I decided that I was going to get a second sleep. Whew, I closed my eyes for my second sleep, and the next thing I know is I realized I'm supposed to be live right now. So I jumped up to come out here just to talk with you guys, and then I realized it's been a little while. It's been a bit since we've had a chat. I'm looking something up here for us, and I thought we would just kind of go off the cuff for a moment, just while I set this up. Excuse me. So, as we're saying this and as we're doing this, man, the United States and California has been in this insane heat pattern lately. It is summertime, so this is what happens. 3-4 months out of the year, we're going to have this wacky weather that tells us that it is summertime and it should be hot and we should be doing things. Now, that being said, a lot of the time, you're just so overwhelmed in the moment. Now, when I mean the moment, I'm not talking about the fact that it's Tuesday. The moment, that's life that we're living. You know, there's so much going on. There's so many people right now that have so much to say. And the thing is, we want to be heard. There are a lot of people out there that don't want to be heard. The silent majority, if you will. The silent majority is just that this is the group of people that basically want to sit back in the shadows and live their life and not have to be overburdened by the powers that be. Now, when I say the powers that be, man, you got to think for a second. How many people are truly happy in their day to day? Now, when we carry on in our day to day, most people can say that they're happy, and most people can even say they've had a good, happy moment. Now, with that being said, have you really? I want to play something for you. Get started. hopefully you are having a good day, and hopefully you are the badass that I think you are. I already know you are. This isn't about thinking or trying. I know. Most of the time, we get caught up in the whole hum of reality. The hum of reality is that, paying your mortgage and taking your kids to school and, being a good father or being a good mother. Now, with that being said, it's okay to be stuck with the ho hum. It's okay to get lost in the moment. Now, I know just a second ago I said it wasn't, but the thing is, you can choose to be in the now, or you can choose to, how do I say, be a fool. A fool does not know about the now. A fool does his planning about, a few weeks out, and then suddenly realizes, oh, things change. Oh, no, why does this keep happening? Why does things keep changing on me? It's because as we're going through, the trajectory is off, but irrelevant. Now, this morning I was going to sit and have a smoke with you guys, but that might be a little difficult at the moment just because I'm just a tad bit dry. I know, right? You're like, look at me like, really? This guy just said that? Yeah, I just said that. Wacky enough. So if you didn't think that this is wacky enough or crazy enough for you, absolutely incredible. Man rowing solo across the Atlantic, surrounded by whales. The appearance of hundreds of whales was amazing, the rower Tom Wadding said. But when he slammed up against his boat, suddenly it turned from David and the Attenborough into the Moby Dick story. He was really scared. I think I'd be scared too. I mean, I couldn't even imagine that, trying to do this amazing task, and then suddenly you're like circled by whales. So what the actual hell? All right. A robot gets a face with living skin that allows it to smile. If humanoid robots make you a bit queasy, what would happen if they had fleshy faces that could smile from? Kind of creepy, huh? I think that's totally creepy. Just the idea, that one day in the future, don't know when, we're going to have robots that are going to do our household cleaning, and robots that will be going and putting fires out, robots that will be doing jobs that most of us humans probably should or could have been doing. I know. A lot of people go, oh, Wayne, you've been reading some science fiction books, or maybe you've been hanging out with the wrong people. No, I swear to you, I swear to you, I haven't. I swear to you only because these are things that make me get intrigued, I think. What about you? Are you intrigued by that whole idea of a thing from the future or a thing of the past that can still make stand in now? Okay. Another monolith appears during Las Vegas. Who's beside these mysterious objects? Pretty crazy. These big metal prisms are popping up all over the United States, and no one's really taking claims for them. The metallic prisms have been appearing across the world since one was found in Utah in 2020. But it may be the cause and still unclear who's created these things and why. I think that's more of a question of why. But they're artists, probably. That's probably why. As a compounded artist, you want to show your work off. How else is a better way to show your work than to go around and make something that everyone can see? Now, I haven't physically seen one of these things. I've only seen what the news has shown, but I think it's pretty cool that someone's taking their time to create such a prophetic piece of art that at least some of us can look at and realize that these guys are going to make a difference. I know you're like, a difference. No, 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 no. The difference that's really here is that it's art, right? When we're creating something that's cool to stare at, people will catch themselves, being captivated by it. Now, the first time that we saw the statue of David, what's up, Ted? I'm sure we were blown away. I'm pretty sure, thank you so much, Ted. I'm pretty sure that the first time that we saw a beautiful painting, we probably wondered, look at the colors. Why would they do that? Or the first time that we looked at a painting or a drawing of a beautiful naked person, lady or man, and we thought, wow, that's interesting. And then the next thing you know, these are the things that are catching us in art schools across the world. If you think about it for 1 second, and it's only art, it's the compassion that all of us have. You can paint with colors and vibrancy to the point where you're going to make a stand. Now, some people go, what do you mean make a stand? It's art. Well, if you're splashing colors around and you're making the stand, it can make a point, whether it's rigid flat lines or it's straight round. And I say straight round, straight with rounded edges. And these are all things that make artists creative. Now, when an artist does this, I don't think the artist is thinking, I'm going to add straight lines here because this is the dignity of life and this is going to be, I don't think so. I think what happens is, as an artist, we start to fling paint, we start to fling ideas back and forth, and then suddenly something comes of it. Have you seen this emotional support gator? Yes, a support gator. You heard me say that correctly. Many fans in Pennsylvania and across social media, his own and established help, they're saying that Wally was kidnapped. He was located by a trapper and released into the swamp in a vacation area in Georgia. Come on now, that's pretty crazy. In law, a Baltimore area teacher is accused of using AI to make their boss appear racist. Okay, this is when we're noticing that the AI bug is going to be horrific. When we start, I know, right? Think about that for a second. And this is which makes me even think stranger. This guy wasn't even in Florida. And that's what we think of when we're thinking of alligators, is Florida. This guy, come on, who runs around with a support gator? I feel terrible today. Touch my gator. It sounds a little weird, doesn't it? It's just like, what the hell? As I'm looking at the news here, a lot of this is stuff that I've already been reading. So I got to look for some new headlines. I just realized that. Now, well, hello. How are you? Hopefully, you guys can smoke some for me. Hopefully, you guys can help me along with this because I don't, then you won't. Wait, what time is it? You ask. You know what time it is. I know. What about this?
Bong it time, it's bong it time. Don't you just know bong it time? It's bong it time, it's bong it time. Everyone loves bong it time. Bong it time, it's bong it time. Don't you just know bong it time? It's bong it time, it's bong it time. Everyone loves bong it time.
Indeed. A lot of the time, I think people get confused. I know you're probably thinking confused. What are you confused about now? You said so much. It's not about that. What it's about here, yes, sir. Thank you so much. Um, we get confused because most of us are chasing a strange dream. When I was a kid, I imagined myself being on the United States of America's fencing team. I thought I was going to be the next Maestro Zottole. He's a sword fighter that's very famous if you look him up. Now, I never got that far. And when I was a little kid, I also thought I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be on the wall of, someone's home. And I wanted to be that guy that when people talked about and they did this thing, that it would be in reference to, wouldn't it be just really cool to be that rock star and have your face all over someone's wall and live in an airport, fly around being a rock star? These are things I thought that I wanted. Now, things have changed. I still love my music. I still love doing these things, but I don't necessarily have to wait for the accolades or the calls from my friends because this is what I love to do. Oh, I just found something funny. We're going to share this with you guys. All right. So an HOA, most people don't know if they have these where they live, a homeowners association. So what happens with the homeowners association? They make these decisions for us or for you when you're living in an area. What you can do, when you can do it, what times you can do it. I don't live like that. I don't have an HOA, so therefore, to me, it's just a little strange. But I was just reading this thing about how at an HOA they were making people make decisions. Sounds odd, doesn't it? Decisions, you want to have your house painted a certain color. No, that's not what they're making them. They're making them decide if they wanted to have a playground that made for boys or for girls. I, I know they act as if this is like 1937. Pretty strange. It's a playground for boys and girls. It really shouldn't matter as long as we're just, playing, right? Okay, let's try this again. Try this one more time. Well, while we're waiting, I got something that you guys might enjoy. We'll get together. Oh, let's just do this one right here. Sure. I thought you guys would want to hang out. I figured you'd be done with this guy. Well, maybe you are. All right, well, let's get back to what we were doing. I was trying to find some breaking news here to read about. The problem is all the news is everything you've already heard and all the stuff that we've already talked about. And I just don't think that that's really what we want to do here. I'm not a news agency. I'm just some guy that's just reading. I think it's fun. There's a lot going on out there for us to read. There's a lot out there for us to look into and think about. Hey, what's going on, Kim? If you guys haven't seen my friend Kim has this really cool thing called you should know it, the NOK Network. Kim has helped us provide us with time and a space for all of us. Kim's actually been doing some really cool thing, the Stoner Games. If you have not checked it out, you probably should. It is a hoot and a lot of fun. And it's actually something that is really cool to think of. I don't know about you. I've thought about ideas of that, but I've never really carried through only because, well, it's not my idea, damn it. But hey, let's take a walk. You're back. Well, good morning and hello. If you haven't got with us or you just got here or you just happened to get here, well, hello. German investigators detain a third suspect in an attempted blackmail of Formula One driver, family says. Poor Formula One driver comes out of the closet saying that he's gay, and suddenly everyone wants to go against the poor guy and attack him. They're acting as if it's like 1930s again. Kind of scary. Flying objects and shrunken heads. The World UFO Day faded amidst a surge of sightings the government denies. I think about it for a second. They're going to tell us 1 second everything's good and it's real, then the next second they want to like lie and try to recant, take it back. Doesn't make a lot of sense if you ask me. An Arizona museum tells stories of ancient animals through fossilized poop. Now, who doesn't like playing with poop? No, I'm joking. Don't go running. Don't go freaking out. It's a real thing. Now, here's a good one for you. I read this one and I had to talk about it. Okay, so most of you guys know about the whole procuring, cooking, and making food. Obviously, you do, because most of you are alive. This nearly 10-foot Gatsby sub is made of Southern African restaurant with a taste of the super size. This thing is ginormous. It looks like it has French fries on it. I mean, this is just insane. A 10-foot Gatsby sub. I don't know who's going to eat that thing. His brother was found dead. His mother was found arrested. And then his baby was found crawling by the highway. Is that an actual real news broadcast right there? It's somewhat like, really? Okay. It just keeps going back and over, back for this same little article. The rainforest animal called the Kingajajero, rescued from Dusty's Highway rest stop in Washington State. And it's kind of a creepy little big-eared, large-toothed looking little monster. Crazy. Theodore Roosevelt's watch was stolen in 1987, and it's finally back in its New York home. Theodore Roosevelt's watch. Can you imagine that? Owning a pocket watch from Theodore Roosevelt? It's probably got some amazing energy to it. You know, Theodore Roosevelt. Come on, that's pretty cool. Nebraska regrets suggests putting fans' ashes under the football field. Her idea was dead on arrival. I know. I'm not writing this stuff, guys. This comes from the internet. I swear to you. Giant sinkhole swallows the center of a soccer field built on top of a limestone mine. Now that's kind of scary. Think about that for one moment. You're out having fun watching your son, your cousin, your niece, your uncle, your wife play soccer. You're having a great idea. You're having a great fun time together. And the idea is because your family's all together. And then suddenly, and you sink in a ginormous sinkhole. I don't know. It's actually kind of spooky to think about it. Weird. New Jersey man flies to Florida and attacks another player over an online game dispute, deputies say. I don't know. Shiny monolith removed from the mountains outside of Las Vegas. How it got there, it's still a mystery. Look at this thing, guys. Some artists definitely put their time and effort into climbing up a mountain to put up a piece of art that they didn't want to take claim for. A baby moose is trapped in the lake and is saved by an Alaskan man, police say, and is worried that the mom was watching. Right? I don't know. Collecting sex-crazed zombie cicadas of the speed. The scientists trade a bug-controlling supersized fungus. Okay. Cicadas. They make a lot of noise, but they are so needed. Hey, you guys had a laugh this morning?
All right, I got one for you. What's worse than two girls running with scissors? Two girls scissoring with the runs. Ah! The crowd goes wild. Well, you can find me all over the place. The Misfit Island, you can find me on Keeping It Green. Obviously, you can find me on the NOK.
Wow. So those of us who love our beautiful country and those of us who are aware of the history and our founding fathers, no lie, perfectly preserved, century-old, a jar of cherries unearthed at George Washington's Mount Vernon home. Imagine that. Now that's pretty cool. I mean, just the thought of it, that they would be old and they would probably be nasty cherries by now. I'm more than sure of that. Virginia City repeals ban on psychic readings as the industry goes and gains more acceptance. Yes, people, I'm going to read that one more to you. Virginia City repeals a ban on psychic readings as an industry grows and gains more acceptance. That's pretty crazy if you think about it. If you put energy to that one right there, more and more of these folks are going to start showing up more and more in our society, which is okay. We need more and more people that can do this. Some people are like charlatans and crazy people. And some people are like, no, they're just other people like you and I with amazing gifts. And there are people that are going to argue.
Bong it time, it's bong it time. Don't you just know bong it time? It's bong it time, it's bong it time. Everyone loves bong it time.
Not everybody does, but most people attempt to. Rare twin elephants in Thailand receive a monk's blessing weeks after their tumultuous birth. That's pretty wild when we think about it. You know, an elephant getting a pass by the monks. That's pretty cool if you ask me.
Advertising space available at NOK. Contact us for a rate sheet at knocknetwork.com. Send us a message on our social media platforms or email us at info@noknetwork.com.
Okay, you did make it back. I gotta finish up with this one because at least you're gonna get a kick out of it. Look at this. First and foremost, we'll show you the picture. Illinois is hit with cicada chaos. This is what it's like to see and to hear and feel billions of bugs. Wow, yuck, that would be crazy. How do cicadas make their signature sound? So eerie and amazing and loud. You know that sound, especially if you live where they are. Man, we call them grasshoppers, but for you guys, you know. Well, hello. Good afternoon and good morning. And how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hanging out with me just for this wild, wacky moment. We're about to almost go to commercial break, but instead I thought I would share some cool stuff with you guys. Breaking news first.
In breaking news, heat waves going across the nation, preparing for summer.
Yeah, summertime. People are like, it's so hot. It's so hot. But it's summertime, guys. Whoa, what could make a baby bison wait? Think about that one for a moment. Pretty nuts. A white albino buffalo. I think that's magic. Could be an oddity in nature, but it seems like it. Double take. 23 sets of twins graduate from a single Massachusetts high school. Yes, 23 sets of graduating twins. Whoa, that is a lot of the same person, you think? A Chinese military buff individuates bought 4 books on military secrets for under $1. Individual. I'm going to look that word up. Young bears spotted relaxing in hammock in Vermont's backyard. Imagine walking out to your hammock and seeing some bear just like relaxing, like, hello. I get the problem with turtles, though.
Hello, my name is Tedel. I will be reading for the part of Kermit. Of course, Miss Piggy. I think if our love is to be clear, most of the time we'll understand that most people need to realize that there's more to you. Well, that is all you get today. Ava!
Yeah, turtles.
Knock Network presents Ganja News Update. Join joint host Tara Simpson and Ron McNabb as they bring you the Global Cannabis News Update. Catch the Ganja News Reporters weekly on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as they cover cannabis news from around the globe in a 60-minute video news podcast. Stay up to date with Ganja News Update, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Follow and subscribe to Knock Network on your webpage, social media, and streaming sites, including Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and Rumble.
Psychedelic Tuesdays on NOK Network. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Psychedelic Report. Ufa Alvarius is scouring the newswires, stories being reported in mainstream media on psychedelic rights, and passing them on to Bobby Puppets and Karen Simpson so they can bring you, our listeners, in this 60-minute video news podcast. Join us for Tuesday Evening News, weekly at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all your news and information in the world of psychedelic medicine. Follow and subscribe to NOK Network on our webpage, social media, and streaming sites, including YouTube and Rumble.
Put it away for 30 minutes a day on IWK. The IWK 710 Daily Sesh is a virtual gathering where consumers meet up or a toke and some laughs at 7 p.m. Eastern nightly. Originally aired on Info with Kim's social media page, the IWK 710 Daily Sesh is now also podcasted on NOK Network. Rotating joint hosts bring you a variety of content during this 30-minute virtual smoke sesh. Take a break from the stresses in life and put it away for 30 minutes a day on IWK. Podcasted nightly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NOK Network.
Advertising space available at NOK. Contact us for a rate sheet at knocknetwork.com. Send us a message on our social media platforms or email us at info@noknetwork.com.
Hey, dudes and dudettes. Enjoy the show, man.
You're back. Imagine that. I had to stop and get a little bit of coffee, and I figured you guys would join me. I found something that completely appealed to my senses, and I thought I would read this to you guys because this is pretty cool. Are you ready? A World War II veteran just married his bride near Normandy, D-Day. These are the beaches that they once attacked. He's 100, she's 96 years old. Whoa, what are the chances of that? Now, that's pretty crazy when you think about that one for a moment, because I don't even know where to go with that. Could it be love? I'm sure it could be. To think about how long that this had taken to go back to Normandy and then turn around and marry your loved one, it's a little mind-boggling, but it is definitely cool. Quicksand doesn't just happen in Hollywood. It happens on Main Beach. I don't know about quicksand. I always thought that was something that you saw in the movies, you heard of, or it happened in weird, strange places. I never knew if it was real or not. Fossil hunting. Dives into some that they might have found large sections of a mastodon's tusk off the Florida coast. A mastodon. That is a ginormous elephant. You didn't know that, but it's a little more than normal. And it's actually a Tokyo City Hall is developing a dating app to encourage marriage and childbirth. Think about that one. Tokyo, and they have to start thinking about getting an app for people. Has their times changed where they've stopped marrying for eternity? Because at one time they would marry for eternity. I don't know, just a little too weird. New York magnet fisher catches a safe full of soggy $100 million, he says. Oh my God. So yeah, I've heard about these guys who go out with large magnets and they throw them down into the waters and they pull up whatever they happen to find. Some find firearms, car parts, treasures of some sort. Well, this guy says he finds millions of dollars. Whoa, man. New York City rat-hating mayor Eric Adams is once again ticketed for rats at his Brooklyn property. Wait. Seriously? I might have to read that one again to see if this is real. Well, hello. How are you this fine morning? Let's try this one again. New York City's rat-hating mayor Eric Adams is once again ticketed for rats at his Brooklyn property. Okay. A pregnant stingray with no male companion now has a reproductive disease, aquariums say. Wow. All right, this could be a problem. A pair enjoyed pricey meal and bottled when it was time to pay. Their dining and dash ended in jail. So yeah, imagine that. You go to dine and dash with your loved one, and then you end up getting thrown away to jail. That means you got to call your attorney. Hey, Johnny, call the home attorney. Call the family attorney because it looks like we're in some deep trouble. I couldn't even. It makes zero sense to me. Now, I have personally never. Mr. Hobbies, I have never dine and dash, so this is not something that I know about or have done. I've read about it, and I know that most people thought about it at least once, but you don't think about going to jail for it. That's definitely wacky. What is Manhattan, and when can you see it? Oh, okay. Apparently the Manhattan is a sequence of the moon and the sun phasing, and it's what we can actually see. They named it after a scientist that found it in Manhattan. Pretty interesting. Mexican government says that the arms of a 19th century mummy came off after mishandling by museum staff. How terrible is that? You know, fine articles that are being lost in time because of, yeah, you get it, because someone's mishandling of them. That would be the worst feeling ever. Try to tell your curator at the sorry, but here's an arm and here's a leg. That would just be totally shitty for them to have to deal with it. Sorry, my dog's whining at me, and I don't know what to do. Well, if you guys are unaware, or maybe you are aware, I have this little thing that I like to do for fun. I love time travel, and I definitely want you guys to get a piece of this. this is going to get a little weird, but I didn't make this one up because I found it here on the web, I promise you. Chasing cheese wheels or lugging sacks of wool, the UK competitors embrace quirky extreme races. Okay. Thai town maddened by marauding monkeys launches a plan to lock them up and send them away. Marauding monkeys. That's how you definitely can tell that it's weird. You don't usually have to deal with marauding monkeys in your news. Sam Butcher arrested, who created the precious monument figures of the teardrop-eyed children, dies at 85 years old. Yeah, wow. Okay. Moose kills Alaskan man attempting to take photo of her newborn calves. Now, that's something I always wondered about, you know? I know that the wild animals and the wildlife can be very precarious and dangerous, but here you are as a wildlife photographer getting the shot of your life, seeing these brand new moose being brought into the world, and the next thing you know, you're being gored. I don't know if I'd want a piece of that either. Sour Patch Kids Oreos, Peeps, and Pepsi. What's behind these weird flavors popping up at store shelves? Now, I'm down with certain flavors, and certain flavors you could even match, and I think it's cool. Now, some of them I don't quite understand, but then again, people do like a little bit of everything, right? 706 people named Kyle got together in Texas. It wasn't enough for a world record, though. 706 Kyles. That is a lot of Kyles. I wonder if it was a bunch of Karens, what would happen? A colleague puts his cat into the education system by giving Max an honorary doctor of a literature degree. I don't know about something like that, but I got a pretty cool dog, but he definitely does not have a degree. That's pretty cool. Up in smoke, workers removed dozens of apparent marijuana plants from the Wisconsin Capitol tulip garden. I'm going to read this one more time to you. Up in smoke, workers removed dozens of apparent marijuana plants from the Wisconsin Capitol tulip garden. Seems like someone went a little crazy and did a little bit of the Johnny Appleseed thing, start putting seeds everywhere. I used to like to do that, definitely at the police station. I used to like to put seeds all over it. I didn't just say that. You didn't hear me just say that. Indiana judge opens the door on new eatery finding. Tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches. The famous taco. Yeah, I don't know. Now, got to think for one moment. I live in Los Angeles. There are lots and lots and lots of taco stands here. German parliament approves plan to relax strict restrictions on family names. Could you imagine that, where the government, the parliament tells you what you can and cannot name your child? That just seems a little strange to me, but I guess it's a thing. When the first warm-blood dinosaurs roamed the earth, it was only 8 trillion years ago. Pretty hard to think of, huh? A Chicago teen entered the college at 10, and at 17, she earned a doctorate from Arizona State. Is that the youngest doctor? I'm not entirely sure. Puxatony Phil's babies are named Shadow and Sunny. They just don't call them that by their names, apparently. All right. Well, it is that time, and if you guys want to join me with that time, you know how. Let's do it. Can you imagine that? Punxsutawney Phil naming his children that. That's pretty wild. Federal agencies say that a second weaker solar storm is surging, and it's likely to happen on Sunday. Solar flares. These things were thought of in the future about being a issue. some while back ago had a premonition that solar flares were going to be an issue. And we're actually finding that solar flares are more and more of a problem than we thought, not only for our own safety, but for devices here on this earth. And a lot of them are not properly shielded to deal with solar flares, which is definitely weird. How to watch and stream the Eurovision Song Contest final. Is this something that you're into? I don't know, it's something you've even seen. I mean, they're singing, it's basically a lip syncing contest that takes place in Europe. I don't know. Most of 15 million bees contained after bee landed truck crashes. Holy crap. 15 million bees contained. Think about that for a moment. That is a lot of bees. That's scary, especially for a guy like me that's allergic to bees. That's nuts. Second black bear in a year enters the DC's Brooklyn neighborhood family area. And you stop these things that roam from Mother Nature. You can't. They've been here a lot longer than you and I. So for you and I to suddenly make issues and have issues because there's a bear in my backyard. Well, if you didn't live back to the woods, you probably wouldn't have a bear now, would you? I don't. You might. Premier League refers to wearing cameras to offer insight into the demand of being a match official. All right, now this is for soccer players. If you soccer players are out there, they want to put these guys with body cams so they can actually do the plays and watch the plays. Man, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, that seems like a lot of effort to put in just for a sport, right? Don't you think? I don't know. Escaped zebra captured near Seattle after gallivanting around the Cascade Mountains and the foothills for days. That would be pretty crazy. Can you imagine being out on vacation, doing a little bit of like hunting or something? All of a sudden you see a zebra come across your sight. I mean, that is. Good morning, Crystal. If you guys don't know my friend Crystal, you can definitely check her band out. They have a really cool show here on the NOK as well. Thursday evenings. Snakes almost on planes. The TS discover a bag of small snakes in a passenger's pendant. All right. For those of us who are not down with snakes, that would definitely be weird. I mean, I don't know about that. I'm not sure how that one makes me feel. I'm not a huge fan of snakes, so therefore I'm pretty sure it might make me feel a bit wigged out. A wild orangutan used a medical plant to treat a wound, scientists say. All right, now this is how I started this, but I definitely want to carry with it so we know. A man says that his emotional support alligator, known for being its big social media audience, has gone missing. My dog's sitting here whining while I'm trying to podcast, so please forgive me if you guys hear a dog whining in the background. For some reason, he is not stopping. It's quite embarrassing and annoying. Will you be quiet? It's hard to take care of anything when you got a dumb. Well, he's not dumb. He obviously knows what he's whining about, whether it's food, water, or something. He's whining, but he doesn't care. A Utah cat with a fondness for cardboard takes a surprise trip to California in an Amazon box. Wow. Okay. That's definitely weird. I wonder, I'm not going to read that whole headline, so I'm curious if that was something that someone sent the cat through the mail. That's nuts. You don't send wild animals through the mail like that. What do I know? When Danish police pulled a woman over, she locked herself in the car and refused to talk. All right, maybe the Danes do things differently. Maybe they're just a little different than we are here in the United States. I don't know. Chicago's rat hole removed after the city determines the sidewalk with animals is an imprisonment area and also known to be damaged. I don't know. Some of it just seems to be a little weird. The first glow-in-the-dark animals may have been seen in ancient corrals deep in the ocean. What? Sorry. Okay, look at this, okay? Now, I'm not making this up. Alligator on the runway at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida captured release in the nearby river. Look at that. Wow, that's real, man. More cicada news. Lots more cicada news. Seems that cicadas are on the rise with you guys in the back east right now, because I guess the water levels are different and your summertime is different. So therefore, you're getting an influx of cicadas. I actually read that this morning too in another article. But the influx is so vast that it's starting to actually disrupt areas. And that's pretty crazy to think that a small little bug can do all that. Now, there's a lot more to that small little bug that we know, right? All right. I don't know why you keep sending me stuff, but cool. Incredible existing George Washington Mount Vernon uncovers jars of 200-year-old cherries. Now, that is definitely pretty cool when you think about it. Please forgive me for a moment this morning. I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb, so I'm getting hammered with a whole bunch of stuff, and that's quite annoying. Yeah, animal news stories. You know, sometimes it's good to definitely read about and hear about the animals in the news, and then other times we're just a little confused. I mean, sometimes it'd be nice to hear a nice news broadcast about animals and not something that is a negative thing. I don't know. Finding bears in a camping area just doesn't make any sense to me. People are, I don't know. Canadian family receives wrong body after father dies in the Cuban vacation. Now, that would be quite shitty. That would be ultimately the worst, right? Your family goes away, someone passes away, and you're like, just pass them through the mail so we bury them. Our family is happy. And then to turn around and find out that you got the wrong person sent to you. Man, that would just be, that would be shitty now, wouldn't it? Northern Colorado medical marijuana sales begin at Cherokee stores. Now, this is pretty huge, but if you've traveled across the United States, especially anywhere here in California, you know that a lot of indigenous tribes have shops of their own. So the fact that they're carrying on at Cherokee sales stores, that's pretty cool. How about this one for you? Something I like. A coffee rotisserie in Finland has launched an AI-generated blend. The results are very surprising. I don't know about that, about the AI choosing. I'm more of those like, I'm one of those, I like to choose the blend that I have in the coffee that I want, not have an artificial intelligence choose it for me. By the way, if you're having coffee this morning, drink up, friends. If you're not, better start brewing because you're behind. I know for me, yeah, you're right. The AI can't taste. And that is funny that you say that. That's kind of what I was wondering. I'm guessing that the AI would go off an algorithm and it would follow things that we use in said algorithm and things that people like, and then suddenly it's going to be a hit. It can't taste. You're right. Oh, soar, slide, splash. It's the sinker, the choice, the springs, and the wacky pond skimming tradition has returned. All right. So it freezes over, and then you're going to try to go across it. And if not, you get saved by a bunch of lifeguards. Nova Scotia, boy, you are definitely a different vibe. Oh, man who won primary election while charged with murder, convicted on lesser charges. I mean, I don't quite get half of it, but maybe I'm not supposed to get it. I mean, think about all this stuff that's out there. You could sit and ponder all day long. You can even look it up on the internet, look it up in books and magazines, and talk to your neighbors about it. But until you witness it firsthand. So yeah, here's a guy, his running mate. You know, I wonder who his running mate was that he lost to. I don't know. This ancient snake in India might have been larger than the school bus, and it possibly weighed a ton. I wonder if this is an actual descendant of an anaconda. Larger than a school bus, you say? A snake? I'm not a fan of snakes to begin with, and now you're going to say large as a school bus. No, thank you. After 40 nights of U2 at the Sphere, the Finnish Trey Anstantio artist talks about taking over. It's going to be a different art that they're going to have there. If you haven't seen the Sphere in Las Vegas, it is definitely pretty cool. It's this large dome, and they project shows on the inside with LED screens and on the outside. I have not had the fortune to go inside and see shows in it yet, but I've definitely seen it from a distance. And it is really cool from a distance. It definitely breaks up the skyline when you're looking across Vegas's skyline. to see this dome. And the fact that they change the artwork on that dome daily. Every few hours they change it. You'll look across and you'll see it's one thing. I thought it was actually unique and cool the last time my wife and I went, that I looked out and I saw the Eye of Saruman. That is pretty cool. The fact that some Lord of the Rings fanatic decided to put something up so all of us could see it, that is still pretty crazy. Cloning makes 3, yes, 3. 2 more indentured ferrets are going to be copied, and these critters will be frozen, and they'll be thawed out because they were frozen in 1980. This is when Jurassic Park just sounds like kind of real, right? All right. A vehicle backfires, startling a circus elephant in Montana streets. She's still performing on Tuesday. Take a look. She's run wild through the streets, and you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Oh, what? Oh, well, I lost that one. That's kind of scary. Thought of a wild elephant running. You're like, elephant named Viola escapes the surface, takes a walk through a Montana town. Oh, Viola knew what she was doing. She was getting a stroll. A 9-year-old boy dreamt of a pet octopus in the sensation that thousands follow. Carries the story online. All right, so this boy has an octopus. So basically, it becomes a sensation only because his octopus, he got great pictures and great photos. Well, all of a sudden, the octopi turned into 4 inside his tank. Your mom or your dad are like, you can have 1 octopus, and then suddenly you have that many. Father sentenced in Germany for attempted murder for injecting mercury into his daughter's food. What fucking sickos are out there? There are millions of them, and we know this. Don't be a weirdo. Don't be a sicko. First, an earthquake. Now, Yankees play ball at some days after all natural phenomenons. All right. A new declaration in Mexico gives 19 cats roaming the presidential palace food to carry on for their furry loved on forever. Guys, thank you so very much for hanging out with me this fine day, this fine morning. You know, there are so many things and so many other people you could be watching out there in the internet, and there are so many other people that would love to spend their time with you. I am just one of these people that want to say thank you very much for your time, so much for your effort, and for all your thoughts. Guys, every Tuesday, you can come, you can wake up with me if you'd like, or not. Remember, be good to yourself. Peace. Dot and microdot. Carry on as you were.